Okay, guys, good evening and welcome to our third session, the PM session for this evening. So our topic for this evening is about problem identification and definition. So we are now on module 3, chapter 3 of our lesson. And but before anything else, let me read to you our objectives for this evening. So number 1 is to discuss research problem identification and definition. So number 2, value the importance of research problem identification and definition. And number 3, understand research problem identification and definition. So identification of a research problem becomes a norm when you ought to have to formulate research problem. But research problem has to be put into place, like the questions that is being given out of the problem that is being conjugated, and the formulation of the solution. So for identification of the research problem, this refers to the sense of awareness of a prevalent social problem, a social phenomenon, or a concept that is worth studying. No? So as it requires to be investigated and of course to understand it. Therefore, the researcher identifies such a research problem through his observation, knowledge, wisdoms, and skills. So if you are going to ask what is really a research problem, no? So a research problem is a prelude to your research title. That means to say that before you can come up with a research title, you must have a prevalent research question or a research problem. So more about research problem is this is an issue, a concern, or a controversy. It fits within a general topic or a field, and it is a research design based on research problem. So a research problem can be found based from experience, from theories, and innovation whose needs to be proven. And therefore, there must be a priority developmental area. So a research problem or a phenomenon, as they might call it in many forms of qualitative research, is a topic you would like to address, investigate, or study. So therefore, whether the discrepancy descriptively or experimentally. So it is the focus or reason for engaging in your research. Now, it is typically a topic, a phenomenon, or the challenge that you are interested in and which you are at least somewhat familiar. Okay, so that is a research problem. Okay. Now, another question is, where do you find a problem or phenomenon to study? So, din nyo siya makita. So, since research problem is usually something you have knowledge of, kinanglan may naman anid ka mo kada party sa problem kada guys. And that personal experience is often a good starting point. So, you go back to your experience. So, where do you think a good problem might be found? So realistically, you have to select something that you are interested in because you are going to commit yourself to a significant investment of time and energy. So therefore, if you are not personally interested, it will be difficult to sustain the efforts needed to complete the research with any measure of quality or validity. So do you want to talk to teachers, counselors, administrators, psychologists, or others about some of the problem they face? So, to yan nyo guys makita ya problem, no? So you must, first of all, you must be knowledgeable of and has a personal experience of that kind of problem. And then afterwards, if ever that you want to be validating that kind of environment, what we're going to do is to ask somebody, no? So it might be their problem is the solution to your problem, which is a research problem. So the next step will be narrowing or clarifying your problem focus. So kung may naisip ka doon ng problema, guys, ang sunod mo nga step will be problem focus. So what is that? Narrowing or clarifying your problem focus. This is the refinement of your topic by becoming more specific about what you are interested in. And then pose a question about your topic to help you narrow your focus. So in this part, you're going to ask yourself, how are you going to specify the problem? So in other words, if you cannot find the main idea in reading passages, so therefore it is much clearer and potentially much easier to measure and address, since one can define main idea and determine student performance relating to this behavior in a number of ways. So by doing this, without adequately defining the problem, the researcher, kamo daa guys, no? Halin do karon, i-consider ninyo yourself ninyo as researchers, no? So you may find yourselves going off on a goose chase to tackle a vogue phenomenon. So trying to deal with symptoms rather than root causes and wasting time. So what do you want to do, no? What is the specific thing that you need to do to formulate a research problem? So whether you are interested in this kind of test that they are using, so considering the average scores, you must find a you must do a literature search so that you'll be able to find out or focus to any problem that is relatable. So later on, guys, in your activity number 5, you will be asked to conduct a literature search, and I will be gladly demonstrate it later on. So next is your activity number 5. As I've said, in your URL, this is what you're going to do. You are going to type scholar.google.com, and then we will see the difference later on. What is kung anong kinalain niya, guys, sa normal ninyo nga Google search. So you're going to search for any scholarly work again, in conjunction to your research problem. So you have to think about one topic for the research problem. Then you're going to provide at least 3 similar study abstracts you wanted to search on. And then you may use any online and offline software, provided it will be copy-pasted to any word processor. So you're going to convert it to PDF and save it as activity number 5. So you're going to upload it in your Google Classroom. So smile while doing your activity. Godspeed. Okay? So next thing is defining a possible research question. Here, you're going to be focused on the topic that you're going to define. And then it must be researchable, and it must be feasible, meaning to say you can conduct it in a short span of time. But irregardless, the effect of this research study will be on the variables that you're going to manipulate. And then it must be specific and complex, and of course, relevant. Furthermore, in defining a research problem, you ought to, this is after you narrow down your topic or problem, no? And you may identify what are the conclusions of the previous research. Is it unclear, or whether they are giving out gaps, or it must have that there are gaps that exist in your literature, and how are you going to better prepare to write a good research question. So what is a research question? So therefore, what is a research question? That is a very good question. So a research question should be, by the way, these are not necessarily an attempt to answer the philosophical question that often arise in school, but they are certainly intended to the avenue for granting personal access regarding classroom or school issues. So you have more than one research question for a study, and depending on the complexity and breadth of your proposed work. So each question of the research question should be clear and specific, refer to the problem or phenomenon, reflect an intervention in experimental work, and note the target population or participants. So identifying a research question will provide greater focus to your research or clarify the direction of your investigation. So that will be a very good tackle on your research question, guys. Again, libaton ko ha. Each question should be clear and specific, refer to the problem or phenomenon, reflect an intervention in experimental work, and note the target population or participants. So identifying a research question will provide greater focus to your research or clarify the direction of your investigation. So quite significantly, a well-written research question will also shed light on the appropriate research methods. No? So example of this is the intended actions of the variables and how an experimental intervention might be measured. So let's go to the characteristics and examples of a good research question. So number one would be specific. So it must be that your good research question should be direct to the point and no holds barred on any issues that is given on any place at a given time. Number two, they are clear. So they should be defined clearly and specifically also. So a good research question must have a clarity for the purpose of knowing what will be the good outcome of the title. So if ever you formulate a good research question, this is a prelude to a research title. So number two, it should be clear. Number three, you must refer to the problem or phenomenon. So by referring to the problem or phenomenon, this projects that a given problem might be a not so bad problem but can be solved. So that phenomenon or problem is adequately solvable, meaning to say there's an answer for every question that you need to tackle on your research problem. So number four is reflect the intervention in experimental research. We are not doing experimental research. However, we're going to develop a system. So that must be a technical research. Pero as the thought says for reflect and intervention, this must be done also in your study. So the intervention is the things that you wanted to make a good example of the problem and propose a solution. So by intervention, it means to say that you're injecting yourself the solution to the desired problem. So ginasolve nyo siya direct to the point. So that is an intervention. So, but probably guys, you must remember good that before intervention, you must first define clearly what is the problem and what happens after intervention. So may naglain ay hand before, and then butangan mo siya ka intervention, and what happens after mo matawan ka intervention. So may kinalain ang before ay hand sa after. So may nagbago ay hand or may naglain. So kung may dayan, it means to say that your intervention is very successful and you come up with a solution to a problem. And then congratulate yourself because you've done a very good research. So number five is note the target group of participants. By knowing the target group of the participants, you'll be able to solve the problem specifically for the purpose of an individual, an institution, or whoever is to be the recipient of your research study. So by targeting the group of participants, you can actually foresee or predict, pero it's not palagpat na prediction guys, but scientific prediction. So meaning to say, makita mo yung trend, kag ma-determine mo kung ano yung sabat sa pamangkot na. So, of course, kinanglan mo na magamit ka quantitative research methods nga ginobra nato karang last time. So here are the sample research questions in ICT, no? So you take note lang. Number one is the theme. The theme is impact. And then you propose a topic. Your topic should be impact of ICT on learning and achievement. So you formulate two research questions. Out of this topic, kinanglan ma-formulate ka mo ka research question. This will be your activity, guys, no? And then number one, research question number one, how do exposure to and use of ICT in schools affect future employment? And then research question two, what is the impact of computer literacy instruction in schools? So therefore, based on the topic and the research question that you formulated, ang sa red nga daya guys, these are the titles of your study. So naka-formulate ka ka-title. The title is ICT Learning Experience and Research Orientations as Predictors of ICT Skills and the ICT use of University Student. Okay? So another theme and topic, no? We have here, theme is the current implementation of ICTs in education, and the topic should be current projects and practices. So you can formulate a research question. The first research question is, how should ICT component in education projects supported by donors be identified and quantified? So another question is, kamo kada guys ma-formulate ka question, how does access and use of ICT outside school impact the use and impact of ICT use in school? So based on the topic and the research question, you can come up with the title. So the title is Generic ICT Skills Profiles, Future Skills for Tomorrow's World. Okay? Then another sample is for the team, you have current implementations of ICTs in education, and the topic tackled is specific ICT tools used in education. So the research question is, what models exist for the effective utilization of ICTs to support ongoing professional development of educators? So the title is, the effect of ICT-assisted project-based learning approach on prospective ICT integration skills for teacher candidates. So those are the samples, no? For your activity number 6, refer to the sample research questions in ICT. In your own words, ask at least 2 questions and include a possible research title for your capstone study. So that is na sa activity 6 ninyo. For your activity number 5, as I've said, i-demo ko to karon ang search ninyo nga obra. Okay? So mo day mo ninyo guys sa activity number 6 ninyo. Ang gin sample naton nga dayaw na. Okay? Pariusan nyo kadaya. So for the color of the day, what is the color of my ball pen during our third session? The color of my pen is actually white. Color white. Okay? And the color of my pen is color white. Okay, so the color of the day for you will be your recitation. So after we have our session karon ng evening, that will be your answer the recitation there at your Google Classroom sa code of the day, and you have 10 points. Okay? So add Astra per Sapientia to the stars through knowledge. So thank you guys for attending our lecture for this evening, and I'm very glad that you have for there are 20 of you attending our class right now. So right now I'm going to demo your activity number 5, in which you're going to do a scholarly search. Okay, so let me just project my screen to your So doing a scholarly search is different from actual Googling, no, using the Google. So normally, guys, what you're going to do is to type google.com, no, and afterwards, this will be the outcome for your Google search. Now, if you're going to search inventory system, so ang gwa niya will be this one. And as you can see, guys, ang result na is not scholarly work. Meaning to say, hindi nyo makita yung mga studies about inventory system. So mainly, ang nagagawa diya are the offering for commercial use ka inyong inventory system. So hindi niyo gawa, guys. Hindi ka mo kabuol ka literature search. Meaning to say, hindi ka mo kakita ka study about inventory. Okay? So what you're going to do, instead of Googling google.com, you're going to type scholar.google.com. And then you press enter. Now, after pressing enter, you will notice that there is a change in your Google search. One change in your Google search is that ang Scholar will be accessed using your Google search sa pag-index. So gina-index kay inyo nga Google ang mga scholarly work, meaning to say ang studies about inventory karon makita ninyo. So kita nyo there are 2 choices now. We have articles and case law. So we're going to articles, no? Select articles because ang ginapakita naton are just articles. So you type there inventory system. And then actually you can see so many studies about inventory. So mo na guys you don't need to go to the library, but you can just scan or research here on Google Scholar. So right click and open in the new tab. So ma-open kita tatlo abi guys. So kung makita ninyo, okay, may kita na may title do kita ka paper, and then may abstract na siya. So ang title is the title of the study, And then makita nyo yung author, si R.C. Baker and Timothy Orban. Ang title ka study nanda is A Deterministic Inventory System with an Inventory Level Dependent Demand Rate. So ang content, ang sulod or content kaanda nga study, makita nyo sa abstract. So this one. Okay. So kung basahon ninyo, mamanaan ninyo yung abstract, basahon niyo yung abstract, mamanaan ninyo kung ano natabo sa study nanda. So the same thing man kanina guys, if you're conducting a capstone study, probably ang ano ninyo, ang summary katanan-tanan yung ano makita sa abstract. So another one is this one. The title of the study is Operating Characteristics of an Inventory System with Rationing. So the author is Stephen Namias and Stephen Demi. Demi. So ang abstract nanda guys, diya. So the abstract is the summary of all the things that happened in the research study. And then the last one is multi-echelon inventory system with information exchange. Then abstract. So amo the content na. So what you're going to do guys is to open your Microsoft Word. Pili lang kamo isa ka ano guys no? Pili lang kamo isa ka study. Ang pilion naton will be ang unagid, ang first. So this one, we're going to select this one. Then what we're going to do is to copy paste the title and the author, copy, and then right click paste here. Mag right click kamo guys, ang daya pilion ninyo ang keep text only ha. Para nga hindi ko ay kun pilion yung keep source formatting amo digo na. So para mag-amo ka guys ang tsura niya, magpareho sa ng font kalibre. What you're going to do is right click and then select keep text only, okay? Then you put there by. Then sa dalom will be the abstract. So for the abstract, what we're going to do is to copy paste this one also. Then copy paste it here. Then imuon ninyo the guys nga naka-paragraph siya. So yeah, why dapat siya indention? Kaya usually ang abstracts wala sang indention di sa left side. So butangan nyo dayon guys ka source. May mga keyword pa ni siya actually. The keywords is this one, no? Dependent rate. Pwede man butangan nyo ka keyword, copy paste nyo lang siya. Then butang nyo diya guys ang keyword, naka-center ang keywords. Then of course, ang sa dalom dib himuan butangan ninyo guys ka grupo kadang ano ninyo ngaran ninyo dio. Butang niyo di pangalan yung example sugat. Then butangan ninyo apat kamo kabilog no. So butangan ninyo di guys ang pangalan ninyo. And then sa dalom nyo butang nyo source. So sa source nalipat ako kada guys magtudlo sa mga classmate ninyo last time. Pero nakapass tong iba ninyo mga classmate ka activity na. So consider ko lang. Pero starting now kung nag-copy ka mo sa internet, ibutang nyo gid the source ha. So ang source ninyo will be ang URL ang kopyaon ninyo. So copy nyo lang guys and then i-paste nyo di pa kadto sa source. And then amo jay source na. So mag-save ka mo gani file and then save as. Then example sa content abi no. Sa desktop lang natin i-save. Activity number 5 na siya guys. Activity 5. So ang save as type instead of Word document or DOCX, isla nyo siya ka PDF. Then save. So naka-save na siya as PDF oh. Kung makita ninyo, naka-save na siya as PDF. And then this activity 5, amo day inyong i-upload sa aton nga Google Classroom. Okay, intindihan ninyo guys? So this will be your activity number 5. Alright? Sige. So, butangan ninyo kapangalan kung sino yung grupo ninyo so that I will know kung sino yung group mates ninyo. And just because nga we have an agreement nga dapat starting today tanan ninyong activity by group na siya. Okay? Okay, so going back to our going back to our discussions, no, sa, wait lang. Okay, so this one. I'm going to stop presenting. And let me ask Anay if naintindihan ninyo ang lesson natin for this evening. Okay, so do you have any questions, guys? You can put your questions in our chat box and ano. Okay, sir. Okay lang. Oo. Oo. Okay lang, Althea, na ano ko naman to, na-checkan ko doon. Starting, it's okay na. It's because actually, why ko obra, so try ko nga lang tawon ang inyong Google Classroom and then to find out that some of your classmates has already passed their work. So I will just consider it because we don't have any I should have told you earlier sa yesterday. Pero since nalipat ako and we have a short notice lang time, na late pa gani ako yesterday because of some unrelated events sa natabo. So, but okay lang. It's okay. What is important is I have told you today, and so that you can tell your classmates, no? By the way, guys, I need your cooperation about the groupings. You need to put the groupings next time in your activity, not only in our IT 313, but also in other subjects. Especially gid sa IT PE3 na, especially sa IT PE3. Kay because ang IT PE3 needs a lot of consideration, no? The subject. Actually, guys, there's a memo from CHED. Hopefully nga mag-materialize lang para kagamit kita ka laboratory, no? About the face-to-face, limited face-to-face. Kaya according to Dr. Diaz, wala pa nag-abot ang memorandum na pwede do kita ka face-to-face sa eskwelahan. So kung matabo daya, base October or November, wait kumaan kung saan ano ka, pwede kita doon kagamit ka laboratory, maremedyohan doon ya ano naton, ya problema sa ITPE3 nga kung diin kita kamo magamit ka computer ninyo sa activity. Pero as today, please lang gid mantiniro naton anay nga mag-online nga kinahanglan naton i-install anay Visual Studio sa inyong laptop. Kay hindi gid kita ka-start sa activity naton sa ITP3 kung hindi ninyo paghimuon. So gapangayo lang ko kagamay nga gamay do lang guys, agwanta lang anay. Magwanta lang kita anay, maabot in the time nga pwede do kita ka face to face kag pwede do kita kano kabay pa. Hindi pa man na sure why pa man niya Ched pero there's a memo. Nakita ko doon yung memo, nabasahan ko doon. Pero wala pa ISCOF kabaton ka memorandum, so hindi pa na guys, ma-implement. So for the time being, please be vigilant about our activity so that we can start next week sa ITPE3. And regarding sa subject natin sa research, again, gina-remind ta lang kamo nga every week, gina-plaster ko doon tanan ang daw ito isa-isa ko doon kamo bala kung paano maging mo research problem, kung paano so these are the things nga stepping stone naton and such a time that we can defend your research titles before midterm or midterm during the midterm. So I'm hoping for your cooperation and regarding the groupings, and hopefully we can remedy the problem for your other subjects as well. Okay? So in the meantime, let me just please cooperate lang and please continue doing your activities by group. Okay? So that it will not be harmful for you just because nga hindi kita lang ang subject na naga-online pati sa iba ninyo nga subjects. All right? So I'm hoping that yes, I'm hoping that everyone can especially ang classmates ninyo that has no access to laptops and desktop computers. So as I've said last time, one of your classmates asked na, sir, what if kung white inyo it computer or laptop? So that is why may grouping kita nga ginatawag. Pero kung sa group ninyo, why gid guys, why gid, namin ko why gid kamot laptop or the remedy is for you to go to the internet cafe and ask permission to install Visual Studio, no, and do your assignments. So another remedy is for your classmates to program kaninyo kanda nga laptop, provided Na may word, the keyword there is provided that they are finished already with their assignments. So there's nothing wrong with sharing provided that you have finished already and uploaded your assignments. Okay? So that's basically lang the principle. So as I've said, I will not be too strict on your activity sa ITPE3. Pero for your research, IT313 guys, I still need your cooperation about your deadline sa researches. Anyway, as I've said, grupo man niya rubrahon and then na-materialize naman. So one of your classmates has passed her activity and I'm hoping that everyone will pass their titles especially activity 5 and 6 no sa nato. So any questions and clarifications about the lesson for this evening? So isa-isaw naton and then if you can ask another questions about the some things about clarifications on the another subject or probably questions that still hinder you or may nabudlayan pa kamo sa iba yung subjects on our online class. So please tell me later on. So first thing is, did you understand our lecture for this evening, guys? Or din nga part ang gusto ninyo balikan ko so that you can understand the basically the whole of the story for your activity number 3. So klaro man guys ang naton, ang lesson. Okay. If ever you don't have any complaints about the lecture, what about our activities? May clarification pa sa activity number 5 and activity number 6. And if you're late, still you can still submit your activities from 1 to 4. Pwede pa. I noticed that not everyone has passed their activity. And mind you guys, as I've said, ang tanan ninyo guys ng grade is centralized already in Google Classroom. So please, if you miss something, please do so, no? Pass your activity. I cannot give, other than that, guys, ang activity lang yun yung pwede ninyo i-pass. If you missed out the code of the day for the past 2 weeks and the quiz, I'm sorry, I cannot reactivate the quiz, no? Because they have time. So may limited lang ang time natin sa quiz that is every Friday. So take note about that at 10 p.m. 10 a.m. I'm sorry, until midnight. And then the code of the day karon. So after kada nga klase naton, so please answeran ninyo yung code of the day naton ha sa sa aton nga Google Classroom. Then after kada amo man the same process man sa activity. Ang only difference is ang sa 313 ang code of the day kada tuya sa piyak is not ang quiz gali, I'm sorry, the quiz is not multiple choice pero essay siya. So I still have to read your essay and then it's not complicated. You can answer it in few sentences and you can actually send your hindi nyo dun paglawigon, no? Hindi nyo guys pag-copy paste ang sa internet nga answer. Okay, because mamanaan ko man kung na-plagiarize ninyo or hindi. So in your own words, that is worth 10 points for your essay that is naton sa ITPE3 na subject. Okay? So those are just reminders, no? And since you don't have any question about our activity for this week, what about some issues with your subject? Not only in IT313 but also in ITPE3. Or last na lang, may grupo do kamo. May dyan pa nga nabilin nga wara grupo. Palihog. Why ko pa malantaw, guys? Oo. Randel, isa nga why timot grupo. Hello? Sino? Ha?
Wala pa ako grupo, sir. Mangita pa ko.
Sige, sino pa dyan yung classmate ninyo nga wara grupo? Palihog si Randel, why pat grupo? You can actually guys, you can mix your group, no? Not only with your section. Pwede ka mo kabuol ka groupmate ninyo sa section A or section B. Pili lang mo, maskin sino lang. So mix lang kay gintingob man lang naton yung A kag B. So therefore there must be 15 groups. Kay every member should have 4 members. So may siya. So I don't know with other guys, may hindi ka mo maghipos-hipos lang tulad mga kung iba ninyo nga mga sino pa diyan kaninyo ya wala pa it grupo. So bulaan ninyo si Randel. Si Randel nagahulat pa. Del why ka gid friends sa IT3? Sino yung mga grupo mo diyan, mga amigo mo or miga, bayi?
May dayan man sir tay.
Oo, mangkota sanda abi kasi may grupo doon. Mangkota abi sanda kung may grupo doon. Para hindi ka mo guys, para man dyan kaninyo, para hindi ka mo mabudlayan. Para hindi ka mo magbudlayan nga mag-ubrak activity ninyo. Hay kung why ka mo group, okay man, pero yaris go garing bala. What I mean is you can do so many things if you have a group mate. Okay, you can actually divide the activities or the not only in your subjects no nga duha ka naton base sa iba yung subjects makabulig pasanda kaninyo. So not only with our two subjects but it's good if you have a group mate that you can ask. Ang tawag kada ano da do karon guys ang tawag kada is cooperative learning. So sa education gina-allow man sa mga special cases. So this one is a very good case nga kinahanglan ninyo guys kung mag-group. Kay pandemic, kinahanglan nyo magbuligay, kinahanglan nyo mag-share ka resources, kinahanglan ninyo matapos ang activity ninyo, not only in my subject, but in your other subject as well. So I don't know if they're allowing you to do this, but in my subject, you can do it. Para nga guys, buligay lang it's a good trait that you can pero ang activity ninyo dapat ipasa man ninyong individually. So meaning to say, individual man ang pagpasa ka activity, nagrupo lang kamo, pero daroon ninyong pangalan ka classmate ninyo sa idalom. So you have to put the names of your classmates para to give due credit to the group. And then afterwards, if you copied something in the internet, as I've told you kagina guys, if you copied something, so don't forget to put the source diya sa dalom, no? So like for example, ang ginimo naton nga search kagina, this one, kung nagbutang ka mo di ka title, then ang author, then ang abstract, dibla gamay mo lang yung content ka abstract, no? Pero amo day content, no, kabilog nanda nga study. Then you put the keyword, then ang pangalan ninyo nga apat, kag ang importante sa tanan ang source kundi ninyo ginbuo li abstract ninyo. So anada ninyo ikagalingon ninyo nga if you copied something on the internet, you put the source sa dalom. Not only in my subject pero sa iba ninyo nga subject nga nagakinanglan ka research online. Kaya that is a very good practice, no? I'm telling you this because I'm your research teacher. So a good research practice must be taught to students. Academic guys, excellence nga tawag. So kung may dyan ka mo nga ginkopya from the internet, hindi malain nga magkopya sa halin sa internet, pero i-acknowledge ninyo as magbutang ka mo ka source sa dalom. Okay? So understand? Okay? Sige. So some more guys, clarifications or questions about the things that we did this evening. Ang ninyo guys, for those who have come late, I hope that you can see the search, demo that we did sa pag-search ninyo sa Scholar, no? So makita niyo mag-search ka mo sa mga research study, hindi niyo sanda as I've said makita sa Google lang kung i-Google search. Dapat kadto ka mo sa Google Scholar. So there's another way in how what we're going to do is to type scholar.google.com sa URL. Pero you can also search Google Scholar by putting it in Google. Magwa lang na siya. Pero kung direkta ang gusto ninyo guys, i-type niyo sa URL scholar.google.com and then it will be ironed out. And then you search there kung ano nga topic ang gusto ninyo i-search. Ang in-search ko is inventory system. So you can search database system, you can search Arduino, kung gusto niyo to na controller, ang microcontroller ang study ninyo to na. So pwede Arduino. So you type niyo Arduino, magwa na to ang Arduino dayan. You can also type besides inventory, kung ano nga klase ka mga system pa nga nag-ano ninyo. So, din ka mo mangita ka title ka system, go to the library and look for the thesis title ka mga nauna ka ninyo nga mga IT students. So, kung why ka mo, I don't know if you can go to the library right now, or maybe you can go to our department and ask sino yung pwede niyo pamangkutan man. Dr. Alingalan siguro, no? Kung may mga research titles sa thesis ano, nga nabutang to. I don't know lang. Sa library, or probably kung may kilala ka mga magurang or kung sino yung mga kilala nyo nga higher year, mga fourth year, or nag-graduate karang nagligad lang, you ask them about their research title and then you can come up with your own research title. So, pero if there is a research title na sa group ninyo, bali sa imuon nyo lang within kaninyo lang nga apat assignment ninyo bali no sa kagalingon ninyo or sa kagalingon ninyo nga group. Panumdum do kamo ka isa ka title and then ano ninyo sa isa kag isa i-recommend. And then you talk, istoryanay kamo and ilista ninyo. Kung makalista ka mo at least mga 5 ka bilog, much better. Para nga during the defense, hindi na ka mo manamdom ka title nga i-ano ninyo. So ang 5 ka title nga i-ano nyo kanaton i-defend ninyo will be screened. I-screen ko man na siya before you do before the defense. So kanako ang title kung title guro, I don't know if you can invite experts no from other fields, from the IT industry. I will inquire kung available sanda. If not, sa final defense na ninyo will be the chapter 1 to 3. Amo do day pag nanda sigurado gid. So pero kung sa title lang, I can just ask your teacher siguro no to help us defend your title. Maybe kung pasugtan kita, we can do it there at our demo board room. If not, pwede man sa computer laboratory. Pero the last resort will be online gyapon. We have no choice no kung hindi kita pag-allow face to face, we can do that here online gyapon. So I don't know kung igo pa kaninyo yung uniform nyo sa eskwelahan. So ma-online kita naka-uniform ka mo, naka-uniform sa buhay pa uniform ninyo guys. I don't know kung masoksok pa ninyo ihan. So that will be sa defense sa midterm siguro or final. But anyway, we'll just take one step at a time. Isa-isa lang Hindi ninyo pagdalian. I will be guiding you all throughout the steps. And ang ginapangabay ko lang, hindi ninyo pagduraon ng activity ninyo ay base activity lang ninyo ipasa nyo kanakon. Kung ano ka mo, madura doon balay natunan ninyo, ay amo day gamiton ninyo abi ng mga steps kung paano ka mo maka-formulate ka Although may mga module man kamo guys, you just read the module gid. And all of the things, kay kinahanglan yung gid man basahon yung module ninyo, may mga quizzes kita. So amo lang ipanamdumalan ninyo nga mga quizzes ninyo kag those are the things nga opportunity that you can read the module. And by reading the module, you'll be guided kung example paano dang mga research questions. Di ninyo bulon ng mga research questions. May experiences do kamo sa dukaron sa pag-create ka problem, ka thesis, or ang nagalibog sa ulo ninyo nga pamangkot nga gusto niyo tawaan ka solusyon. Or maskin sa piyak balay lang ninyo nag-automate ka inventory ng sari-sari store. So or negosyante kamo kinahanglan yung inventory sa baligya sa hardware store ninyo so something like that. Or sa barangay lang ninyo, i-automate lang ninyo yung transaction tuya. Maskin magbuola kasi dula kag magbuol lang ka sa barangay do ka buhay gid daw. What if kun i-computerize ko day madasig ayhan ang transaction. So those are the things that you need to remember. That will be guiding you on how to formulate your research questions. All right? So I hope that you can I am hoping that you can formulate your questions and basically prepare you to our future endeavors, ang mga activities natin sa palabuton. So kung may kamot pamangkot doon, or mga reactions, sabi no, so you can type, don't be shy, you type your questions here at the chat box. Anyway, or you can speak out and tell me so that we can recommend something. So it's good, no, if you have your groups already. If not, si Randel, Wipat Grupo. Guys, bulaan nyo na. Sino pa dyan? Mark Lloyd, may grupo ka doon to.
Po, sir.
Braden John. Ate, sige. Angelo to, may grupo ka doon.
Okay pa, sir?
Si Randel, grupo ay ka mo. Del, si Angelo, Gel, ay imaway ka mo, pwede. Pwede ka mo ka-grupo, no? Istoryanay ka mo, Borbay. Si Randel, kag si Angelo. Sino pa? Si Braden Jan, to may ano ka, may grupo ka doon?
Complete na, sir.
Pati si Del, si Braden Jan, Wipat grupo, kag si Angelo.
Kompleto na, sir.
Kompleto, sorry. May Jan dugali. May Jan doon, sorry. So sa mga waay pa dyan, si Angelo kag si Randel, Wipat group. Sheila May, may grupo ka doon?
Sir.
Okay, sige. Very good. Danica, may imo doon ta? May grupo ka doon?
Oo, sir.
Ate, sige lang. Okay lang. So, ang isa nga, Danica, may group ka na Miss Danica?
Grupo ko, sir.
Ate, sige, okay doon. Sige.
Gadula, abi, signal ko, sir.
Ay, sige lang, okay lang. Kamusta dyan sa taga-GML? Good mayong gabi, good. Sige guys, sino pa yung may why mo? Si Ella May, Miss, may imo doon nga group? Or si John Ray Guro to? John Ray, may grupo ka doon? Si Randel, why Pablet group mate? Kag si Justin to, may group mate ka doon?
Sir?
Good evening to, may grupo ka doon?
Why ba, sir?
Okay, pwede ka mo ka-grupo ni Randel, no? Istoryanay lang ka mo.
Oo, sir.
Justin kag si Nico to, may grupo ka doon?
Sir, sa tong imo, sir.
Oo. Dang si John Ray kag si Randel, way pat grupo, grupo ay ka mo siguro.
May dyan no, sir, si Nonoy.
Ate may dyan, Timo Dugali.
Si Renbel.
Oo. So, guys, imayad guro, ang why it grupo pa, you just post your name there sa chat. Sana natin sa chat. Oo. Sige to. Sa chat,
Si Jen Ray, sir,
pangalan nyo. Ate, okay. Sige, bulaan nyo si John Ray. Okay. Sanday Randel, siguro may mabuol mo kay Randel, no? Oo.
Oo, sir, may dyan, gida.
Okay. Sige. So, sige pa. Day Rodi Rose, kag si Rose Ann. May dyan do ka mo ng mga groups?
Yes, sir. Galon.
Ate, sige, very good. Okay, sige. So, sige guys. I'm hoping that every week you can post your groups. Don't forget your group mates so that we can, So, I think that is all for this evening, guys. Thank you for attending. Sige. You can just PM me whenever you need assistance, no? By the way, I'm there I don't know if I can go there sa tomorrow. We best may klase ako garing. So Biyernes na lang. I'm going to school sa Friday. Just ask the guard kay Friday daw wala ablay tawo eskwelahan mo. I'm going there sa aga lang from aga lang siguro 9 to 11:30. So kung gusto niyo pa magpa-install ka ang ninyo, Visual Studio 2013 kag 2015, you can go there and I will meet you there sa 9 o'clock until 11. So if you want still to with my supervision, or you can copy lang gid ang iba ninyo mga classmate guys, actually nag-copy man lang ka software, no, kag nagpanaw kag sanda lang man nag-install ka kananda, pero mag-install ka mo dapat may internet gid. Kag dayon mag-copy kamo kanakon ka dapat 8 gig ang capacity ka flash drive ninyo. Kag na format na siya white virus. So kung ano nga daan viruson or nagakadura ya file, hindi niyo siya makita. And then base hindi niyo man ma-install. So i-reformat niyo yung flash drive niyo or dapat 8 gig siya, at least 8 gigabytes. Okay, so that will be our reminder, no? So thank you and good evening din sa tanan. I-stop ko na yung recording. And then pwede do kita ka